Hi everyone! Welcome back. My name is Smitty and this is my book channel, Booksmitten. Now, if you're not new around here, you probably know that I haven't posted in a while. When I last checked, I last posted in February 2025. So I thought I would make a little video explaining where I was, what I've been up to, and what you can expect from me moving forward. So let's just get started. So, first of all, back in January 2025, I found out that I was pregnant with my second child, which was amazing. And I will say that the pregnancy symptoms kicked in quite quickly. When I look back at my January and February videos, I can totally feel that I was struggling. I had a lot of nausea, I was getting achy, and I was getting tired. And one of the things that happened was that I fell into a reading slump. I could still read for work. I am an archaeologist. I would say that's my day job. And I do have an archaeology channel. So I was doing work there. And of course, I needed to read primary sources, whether it was journal articles or book chapters, or even some cases like academic books. But I had a really hard time accessing reading for pleasure. And audiobooks, I just couldn't access them either. Well, I could access them, but I just couldn't find as much enjoyment or motivation to listen or read a physical book or even an ebook. So, when I looked back at my Goodreads history, I did read here and there, but it was very sporadic and not as consistent as I was reading in the past. So I will say that was pretty hard, but I just recognized that reading slump in myself, and I just essentially let myself have it because, I was pregnant and growing a human. And even when I gave birth, which was in August, to a wonderful baby boy who we call Ollie, I noticed that even postpartum, that reading slump continued. So, in the midst of all this, I decided to take it easy on myself and I just stopped posting to this channel because it was a lot. I wasn't reading as much and I didn't want to force myself to read because that is totally not the point of this channel. And if I just needed a break, I was going to take a break. But now, fast forward to May 2026, I'm here now, and I have been getting back into reading for fun and for pleasure in these past weeks. And I've been really itching to start making videos on this channel again. But I want to do things a little differently moving forward. In the past, I often did monthly wrap ups, and I think a lot of folks enjoyed them. I think they performed pretty well. But if I'm being honest, they turned into being a bit of a burden and a lot of extra work on my end because, I needed to summarize the book, find the ratings on both Goodreads and other platforms, and then figure out a rating for myself. And it kind of took the fun away for me personally about chatting about a book. So I think moving forward, I'm going to pause on the monthly reading wrap ups at the moment. And if I want to talk about a specific book or a set of books, I'll just make a dedicated video for that. I tend to be a mood reader anyway, so I think it might be fun to come up with some themes for certain videos around the books I'm reading, but also do single book reviews. I tend to read some fiction, but also nonfiction, and I'm reading a lot of books lately that I haven't seen get much publicity, so I would love to share my thoughts on those books as well. So the other thing that I'm going to put a pause on for the time being is giving out star ratings. And this is mainly because I struggle sometimes with certain books to figure out how I feel about them in terms of giving them a specific star. And I find that sometimes delays me in maybe recording a video. Another reason, in full transparency, is that I'm just meeting a lot more authors these days. And this has to do with them coming onto my podcast, especially if they've perhaps written something that's a nonfiction book and talking about the book. So often then I've engaged with that book far deeper than I would other books that I might have engaged just as kind of an initial read. So for me, that skews my perception a bit. And yeah, I just don't feel the star rating system is serving me personally as much. I know I created a video on it ages ago about like how I do my star ratings, and I still think that holds up, but I'm just having a lot of feelings about different books that I don't think are as well encapsulated into that system. So that being said, I think I'm going to stop star ratings for the moment and really just focus on like my perspective and my thoughts. And I will try to keep it as coherent as possible. But yeah, let's see how it goes for the next couple months. So speaking of the next couple months, what can you expect in terms of cadence? In full transparency, I really don't know. I would love to pop up on here after I read a book, like I said, to maybe give a single book review, or if an idea pops into my head for a video. But the goal is to try to be a bit more frequent than I have been in the last year plus, but also make this process easeful and enjoyable because I'm really excited to create again, but I also acknowledge that I'm balancing other demands, including another channel, another podcast, parenting, doing a bit of academic research again. So there's a lot of forces going into what I'm working on day to day, but I would love to just pop on here a bit more. So that's kind of where I've been, what I've been up to, and what I hope you can expect from me in the future. I hope you all have been well, and I'm really excited to tap into this community again and engage. So I'm wishing you all well, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.